Hi, this is Wilna Furstenberg, and I'm back today on YouTube and on my blog with a tutorial on how to make these little cards. So I've been wanting to make some cards because I have some awesome friends that I really want to give something to. And I decided that this butterfly collection, berries and butterfly collection that I just created, was perfect for these little cards. So this is going to be like a 30-minute video where I show you how I created my cards. So while I'm just setting up there, it looks terrible. Um, um, I decided to just start with eight 6x6 pages, and these are from Maggie Holmes. So I will list all the products that I use will be on my blog under the related products, and you can see that I printed the butterflies and I used my silhouette to do a print and cut, and I'm just placing things together right now. I'm just putting it there, and that's how I usually start when I mass produce things like this. Even though this one, for this project, I'm going to make each card one by one. I'm not going to mass produce like I usually do, if you've seen the mass production videos that I've created. So I am just going to be layering with lots of paper and things, and also I'm going to mount my little cards on white cardstock, and I'm going to stitch it down. I'll show you that in the end. And then I'm also going to place them in clear plastic envelopes that I got from Michael's. So it's going to be a fun little process, and also I'm going to embellish the clear envelopes as well. So like I said, fun little process. Okay, so starting off, I had these 3 sheets of mixed media projects that I created to make the coffee cup albums for spring, the background. And so I had these sheets that I made, and I decided that I'm going to tear them up and use little bits of it on my cards. Now, if you're wondering how to make these little backgrounds, then I would suggest that you just watch my art journaling videos or any of my scrapbooking videos. There's so many tutorials where I work with molding paste and then paint with watercolors. And in the case of the chevron, I actually rolled with masking fluid using a big roller, and then once that was dry, I just painted over it with watercolors. And then the other 2, the pink and the green one, was just molding paste through a stencil, and once that was dry, I painted over it with watercolors. So you know what, if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me done this. So you can just make a few pages, or maybe you have some like I did here that you can just cut up and use. So don't sweat it. It's not a big deal. You can see I was not careful at all when I tore it up. It's just a quick I just wanted a little bit of that color and that texture and that mixed media art feel on each page. And now I'm going to cut up this sheet of, it looks like a silhouette cut, but I bought it from Michael's and it's quite expensive. I think it's almost $3 Canadian dollars for a sheet. So I'm going to cut it up in 8 pieces. So I'm measuring more or less how big each piece should be, around 3 inches, and then I'm going to cut it in half as well. The little cards that I'm making is just going to be smaller than 6x6, so I had to make them a little smaller than 6x6 to fit into those clear envelope pockets. So each of the little cards are going to get one of these. It looks like a silhouette cut, right? So I like that idea, And then I also had some butterflies left over from the acetate that I used for my mini class 9. and I'm going to use those little butterflies as well. So it's going to be like layer upon layer upon layer. So it's very fun, and really it was therapy for me to do these little cards. So I'm just going to show you how I made all 8 of them, and I'm basically just going to layer the mixed media piece with the cut paper and then a butterfly and add a few embellishments. Right now I am in the middle of studying for exams. I'm hesitant to say, but I'm considering a career change, and how will that impact my scrapbooking and mixed media and my YouTube channel? Hopefully I will still be able to do this, and I'm very excited for both. You know what? Because even though today I've been studying for 2 weeks, between 4 and 6 hours a day, so I've been working very hard, and today I was just craving doing something creative, so I don't think that I'll completely scale down my scrapbooking. I still have art journaling workshop and a scrapbooking workshop in my mind that I want to do for the summer, and then after that we'll see, but more about that later on. Just wanted to mention it because I haven't mentioned it anywhere. Okay, so I'm using these beautiful words by Maggie Holmes, and it's from a sticker sheet. You can see there on the left hand side a chipboard sticker sheet. But you know what? I needed more black words. So what I did was I painted some words and I made them into cut files. I made a cut offset for them. And you can actually go to iheartstudio.ca and download them for free. And so that is just my little gift to you. There you can see the little butterfly that it's on an acetate paper with white written on it. And it's transparent, but I added it with a touch of hot glue. So you can't really see it, but it's there. So it's really beautiful. It just creates a little bit of depth, a little bit of texture. So it's a fun little embellishment to put on, just because it's see-through, but you can see it when you hold the actual card. And then this sheet of polka dots, I'm just going to tear up, and I'm going to use a little strip on each page, and I'm going to layer it with the mixed media part and the cut file, and then I'm also going to add just my butterflies that I created. Right at the end of this video, I'll show you a little promotional video for the mini class 9 and all the products that you can buy. So that's where you will find them. And not only will you get the products, but you will get 4 exclusive videos where I make scrapbook layouts. So again I'm using a Maggie Holmes letter there, or word, lovely. And then in the next pages, you'll see I'll use the ones that I made for you that you can download for free on iHeartStudio. Okay, so now I'm just going to play you a little bit of music for a couple minutes, and you can watch me work, and then I'll be back to talk about these little cards a little bit more. The gold stickers that you see there on the right hand side of the page is from Michael's recollection. It's just little labels with gold edges that I love. And it's a whole pack of, I don't know how many of them are in there. And there's also some silver ones. So I just love the little gold accent on the page. So for this little card, I'm using that beautiful gingham in yellow and layering it with the blue green mixed media part. It's just almost an odd combination, but I liked it. I love it in the end. Look really pretty. You can also see that I love to staple things together, um, and and that was what fueled my decision to stitch around the edges of each card right at the end, was just to keep everything on the page because I didn't use glue or double-sided tape, just here and there. But in the end, I just wanted to make sure that nothing falls off the page, and that's why I decided just to run it through the sewing machine. Um, the little label is just to bring a little bit of calmness to the page for me, as well as a place maybe to write a, a secondary thank you or a secondary note if I want to give the card to someone. And then I'm also mounted it on plain white cardstock at the end on the back so that I can write a little bit more, on the back. So that was my thinking there. Um, like I said, these words, thank you, and I made a whole bunch of them with so much love. Thank you a million times over. Um, so I made a couple of sentiments that comes really from the heart. So if you want to give something really appropriate to a friend to thank them, it's not your usual. There's some just plain thank yous, but there are some very um, deep thank yous. And that's what I was trying when I wrote the phrases, was to really make it as sincere as possible. So I hope you enjoy the free download. So there's a printable in the free downloads, as well as the cut files. Well, not the actual cut files, but the SVG, PNG, DFX file that you can make into cut files. So I did a print and cut with these, and that's the way they turned out. They really look quite nice. I'm very happy with them. So this is one of my favorite pages with the polka dots at the back. I just love it. Little cards, not pages, cards with the polka dots at the back, and I think the butterflies really look beautiful on these cards. I love those painted butterflies, and you know what? Uh, oh, I just want to mention this. So what I did with the acetate was I did a double cut on the acetate, just a sheet of butterflies, and um, and that's what I'm using also on each card. Luckily, I had 8 left. Isn't that amazing? So there you can see I stapled everything together, and now I'm just adhering it lightly, just a little bit of adhesive. Um, so the butterflies, it's just this paper, a clear paper that I bought from Michael's, acetate, basically, with white writing on it. You can make your own. So the easiest way to do that is to use the Liquitex inks, the white, and just write on the acetate or transparency. And then that's the best ink that I found that sticks to transparency. It keeps its opaqueness, it doesn't disappear. So the Liquitex white ink. So that's just a little tip for you for free. Okay, so again, just another page. So simple to make these, to bring them together. I think the whole creating process took me maybe 30 minutes, once I had all the little elements done and ready. Just to put them together is so simple. And I really didn't even overthink it. I was just, I didn't match specific backgrounds with specific mixed media parts or nothing. I just went with the flow, and it just worked out really nice. I did. You can see there that I'm bringing out the die cut as much as possible. I want to see as much of it as possible. So I would just tuck it in ever so slightly behind the mixed media, so it looks like it disappears behind it. And now I'm just going to staple it. And that is how simple it is to just to add the layers, and then a little bit of hot glue on the butterfly. So these butterflies, there's 12 in the little collection, and there's some with words. And then you can also print them bigger or smaller. It's totally up to you. I printed these a little bigger when I did my print and cut, and I just love them. You know, they really look nice when you print them out on textured paper like the American Crafts heavyweight cardstock. They really, I love the textured ones, but I just had some left over from when I created with the kit for the exclusive videos. So I just decided to use those. So I went to Michael's to look for envelopes, and I couldn't find 6x6 envelopes, so I found these clear envelopes, a packet of 20. And when I measured it, as you can see there, I discovered it was a little bit too small. So I took out my Fiskars measure, well, cutter, and I decided to measure the envelope on there. And then what I do is, just with a permanent marker, I would just make a little mark so that when I trim the card, I know how much to take off. You know, you can see I'm just putting up against that little measurement there. But then I discovered that I had to take off a little bit more on the sides when it's upright. And so this measurement, the first one that I made, was for the length of the card, and then I had to adjust a little bit for the width. So you can see there's two little marks on my cutter, and you know what? That just made it so easy for me, because then I could just cut all 8 of them the right size, and then I didn't have to worry about measuring it every single time. I just put it on those little markings. So that's just a little tip for you. Maybe you have a better way to do it. I'm not always, I don't know, I just try to make my process as simple as possible. So now I'm just mounting it. Actually, I'm mounting it on the smooth side so that the textured side is on the outside. And I'm going to do that with every single card. I'm just going to mount it with a couple stripes of adhesive, and then I'm going to run them through my machine and just stitch the outer parts of the cards. and it just looks nice. It looks finished. It gives it a finished look, and it looked handmade, you know. So that's really a cool little tip for you. If you don't have a sewing machine, you know what, you can hand stitch it if you have the time, or you can just make sure that everything is adhered properly. So that is basically your options. You don't have to stitch it, but I just like the finished look. Machine stitching and hot glue are by far my favorite ways to make sure that things stay on pages. I have um, a big dislike of things falling off pages, embellishments, and everything, you know. You can see as I'm running it through the machine how the butterfly, the acetate butterfly, shines. And I love that little bit of shininess that it brings. And I think that's why I love the clear envelopes as well, because it just makes it so finished. It just gives it that finished look. Sorry, my tense is all over the place again. You can see all the cards stitched and done. So I mounted it on white cardstock, and there's the clear envelopes again. So I'm just going to take them out of the back pocket, and now I'm just going to place every card, and I'm going to turn it over. You can see the textured part of the white cardstock is at the back, so it's a lovely look, so I can write on there. And I'm going to put the cards in so that it closes at the back like a real envelope, you know. I absolutely love how these turned out. And then I decided that I'm going to be embellishing the the envelopes as well a little bit. I'm just, you know what? Because now when you give the card like this, they can see everything, right? So I'm just going to cover up a tiny bit. So you'll see what I mean in a little bit. So I'm just going to place everyone in a little envelope, and then I'm going to just finish it off. You know what? Another thing that I want to tell you why I love using those finished bits of mixed media um, is that the actual cards doesn't have a single drop of paint on them, yet they look very artistic. You know, so that's a nice plus for me as well. Okay, so now I'm going to add a sticker, and I'm going to cover the letters or the words, you know, with these lovely label stickers. Like I said, I bought them from Michael's, and there's different shapes and sizes, and you know what? And I just decided that I'm going to be covering the words so that, you know what, when I open the envelope, there's a little bit more to see. Plus, it gives me an opportunity to write a sentiment on the front, or just the name of the person that I'm giving the card to. You know what? There's so many things that you can do. And then I decided, you know what? There's these cute puffy stickers from Maggie Holmes, and I'm absolutely going to stick some puffy stickers on the envelopes. So isn't that cute, you know? And they just work with the imagery behind them that's shining through the envelope, and I couldn't be more happy. And you know what was fun is I just decided that I'm going to start with one sticker, and then I went back and added another sticker because I could, you know. So um, I almost used a whole bunch of all the stickers, you know. It was just a little hard to decide where to place them. And how cute is that? So I almost couldn't decide which part was my favorite, the ones with the envelopes or the cards without the envelopes, you know. And then I dashed. Oh my gosh. Um, I went into my stash and I found these craft heart stickers by Studio Calico that I've had probably for 8 years, a long time. I was actually curious to see if they are still able to stick, and they was. So well done, Studio Calico. It's still working after all these years. And I'm just going to fold over the even though it has a self-adhesive strip. You know what? I am probably going to open these again to write in it, so I didn't want to adhere them permanently. So the little heart, hopefully I can remove, and the sticker sheet has enough hearts so that I can just add some more. And there you see all 8 cards done, ready. You can almost sell them. And imagine the people that's going to receive them, how happy they're going to be. So yeah, here you can see the finished product. I hope you make these with me. It's wonderful to be creative. It's it's manna for the soul, really it is. You can see how lovely it looks with the clear envelopes, and I love the little butterflies as well. Well, thank you for hanging out with me for 30 minutes. I hope you drank some coffee or tea or wine, something. Um, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I hope to be back soon with another video at some stage. Here's a little preview of all the products that I created. So when you buy the collection, these are all the downloads that you can download and print and cut out and use on your pages and cards. So thank you again, and I'll see you soon. I'm sending you all my love. Bye bye. Oh, and remember the free download on iheartstudio.ca. Bye bye.